You are now tuned in to Sports Addict.
How was your weekend, my brother?
Oh man, it was real chill, man. I actually went to a cabin with some of my friends, man. It was
Okay.
kind of like a couples trip. It was a
Yeah.
real good time, man. We relaxed, watched some sports, swapped some stories. I did a comedy set this weekend.
Really?
Really.
How did that go?
Oh, it was a knee slapper.
Knee slapper.
Yeah, you get it.
I get it. I'm gonna definitely tap in with the those that were in attendance and see if they agree.
Go ahead, go ahead. Netflix was trying to book me for a special.
Okay.
And I was like, nah, I'm doing
Yeah,
Sports Attic right now. So,
I got you.
uh, you know, we can talk at another time. Get in contact with my people. So,
Right,
other than
right,
that,
right.
it was a good weekend. Got on the road. The cabin was in Oklahoma, so I got on the road and made that 3 hour trip. Got up real early to make sure I can watch those Cowboys. How about you?
Watch them Cowboys. My weekend, man, was filled with. I went to Jackson, Mississippi for a wedding for a close friend of mine and his beautiful wife, man. So that that's always all love to experience and be a part of something like that. So I had a real good weekend, man, and got back Sunday. But yeah, man, as always, we appreciate y'all for tapping back in, man. We here for another edition of Sports Attic.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can follow us on all platforms as you see the IG right here at Sports Attic. If you want to catch us on IG, man, we appreciate the love. But yeah, man, let's tap into it, man. We had a hard fought game against the Houston Texans, who were 1-10-1,
Mm-hmm.
as we were 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like I always say, it's the NFL. What's funny is I actually say it's the NFL, and I feel like every game is going to be a tough one. And I felt like the Houston Texans were the one team out of the league that might not be the case. Like, you should beat them by double digits.
Right.
You should beat them by double digits. Everybody else, yes, there are games where you're supposed to win, but this one you're supposed to win by double digits.
No, 17.5 point underdogs.
17.5 point underdogs, and we escaped with a 27-23. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
27-23 win. A win is a win,
A
but
win is a win.
obviously we got to dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me get your first initial thoughts of the overall game versus the Houston Texans.
To sum up my thoughts for the overall game, I'm just gonna say, hey, a win is a win.
A win is a win.
Whether we put 54 points up on the Texans or 3 points up or a 27-24 win, it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. It was an ugly win, but sometimes good teams have
Sure.
ugly games.
For sure.
The last drive, I'll say, was encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that Dak got in rhythm. It was a 98-yard drive.
Yeah.
Took us down there. Zeke finished it off.
Yep. There you go.
I'm sorry. God's strength finished the game off for us.
Are you washing that jersey?
No, I keep it.
You
No,
wear it
yeah,
at
the
all? Okay.
superstition. Oh, I'm gonna keep wearing it. I thought about it too.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I had a plethora of Cowboys attire.
Yep.
Yeah, a plethora.
Yeah.
But I continue to choose the Zeke jersey because since I've been wearing it, he do his thing.
I got you. Okay. Well, I want you to keep wearing it too. For
Yeah,
sure.
he does his thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
grammar. But yeah. Nah, so
No
Zeke,
grammar police here.
God's strength finished that game off.
Okay.
And I thought he was gonna do another Salvation Army dive, but he fooled me.
Okay.
He fooled me because he's so quick.
Well, because he
was
got
like,
hit
ooh.
with like 15 bands for a fine.
Oh, that's nothing to Zeke. How much you say he make a year?
15 million. That is something.
Nah,
That
that's
is
something. That's absolutely something.
You see, he slid across the top. Like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm cool. Don't give me that bag no more. I don't want to give you that bag no more. Nah, but overall, I think the defense what we end up with on defense. We got a pick. I know we forced a fumble. How many turnovers?
Which was a crazy return.
Which was a crazy return by
Yeah,
Diggs to run back 15 yards, just to come back
yeah,
up for 9 yards and ran about 60 yards.
yeah.
Um, I think it was a good game all the way around. We did decent on the run. I mean, Pierce got. Hold on. Excuse me.
Bless you, my brother.
I think we did decent on the run. I think Pierce got 78 yards, but he had 22 carries, 3.5 yards a carry. He scored a touchdown. He did break a 24-yarder. But for the most part, we held him in check. Now, they ran the ball a ton.
Mm-hmm.
They ran the ball a ton, but, I mean, a win is a win.
Yeah, absolutely. A win is definitely a win. I mean, you got to be a little, obviously looking at it, I was a little disappointed. It's the NFL. You take the win. There's going to be 1 to 2 to 3 ugly games against teams you're probably supposed to beat. If you're looked at as a good team, rather handily, and it's not always the case. So this is one of those trap games. It's hard to get motivated to play the Houston Texans, and they were, they showed up and they played well. Again, I just really would like to see us, going forward. Dak spoke to it today. I saw his press conference talking about, finding that balance between being aggressive, and taking care of the ball. You know what I mean? And, hopefully he can do that. Obviously he said he's not going to stop being aggressive, which we, need him to be aggressive. But play within himself and not turn the ball over. And it's kind of easy to see. Like when we had that crazy game, right? When we were at our A+ against Minnesota, we talked about it. He was hitting the back foot, ball was coming out, boom, boom, boom.
Bam.
And this game, you saw the stepping on the back foot, hitch, like a pump fake, and that's never a good sign. That means a rusher is getting there, a second or so, later, you're getting hit while you're throwing it. It's just a lot more room for disaster. And I think we saw that. But yeah, man, I'll take a win as a win because at the end of the season, you're just looking at wins and losses. But that's the only thing. It was the turnovers. Obviously, Turpin had the big turnover at the beginning of the game.
Ah, man, that's okay though.
Yeah.
That's okay though.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, it's not okay. It's not okay, but I don't want him benched because of that play.
Nah, he definitely won't be benched.
Yeah, but catch the ball. But that's fine.
He caught it, but no, you're right. It hit him in the chest and it bounced off his chest. But absolutely, and again, every time I watch the Cowboys now, we're 10-3 now, so we're gonna make the playoffs, right? So every time I watch them, I'm grading them against a playoff team, right? So when I see them, the habits that you're building right now as we get later into the season, is that going to be the game style and what you need to do to beat the San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles? Because we're going to make the playoffs. I don't want to see another one round and go home, type season. And so I want to see that stuff get cleaned up a little bit. And it's really turnovers. Like if you lose the turnover battle, you're going to have a hard time winning against a really good team in the playoffs. So I really would like us to see us clean that up. But hey, a win's a win. You know what I mean? You can nitpick anyone's schedule and see a close game versus a team that you probably felt that they should handle handedly. And that wasn't the case. So I'll take it. A win is a win. Hopefully we can build on that going into next week against Jacksonville. But I really would like to see the turnovers decline, and I think it will be really hard to beat if we can shore up that area.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. But that leads me to ask you.
Sure.
Because I remember the Chicago game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys won that game against a team that many felt was inferior.
Yep.
And I think that we gave up over 200 yards rushing that game. And that day you felt as if, that was alarming. You saw something that was alarming to you.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, in the game that you saw yesterday, was anything alarming to you?
Yeah, the turnovers. The turnovers are alarming to me. I don't know, at the end of the day, when you play, it's just like being a boss of a company, right? Like, doesn't matter if it's the staff under you that did something that maybe was out of your control. The blame still is placed upon you. So I don't know if the connection ain't there, or whatever. But I can only say it's on Dak to handle those turnovers. Maybe be a little more smarter with the ball, not taking as many chances when he's throwing into coverage. But yeah, the alarming thing to me is the turnovers, especially from our quarterback. I mean, since he's been back, he's had to have thrown like 7, 6, or I don't have the stats, but at least 6 to 8 interceptions for the year. And so I think that'll get you beat. One thing, another thing that's alarming is hopefully, hey, injuries is a part of it. Everybody goes through injuries. We took a big blow to the roster with Terrence Steele going out. Right tackle who's really playing some good ball.
Yep.
Terrence Steele probably would have went to the Pro Bowl this year. He was really, really playing well.
Is that an ACL? Is he gone for the year?
ACL gone for the year.
Okay.
And thankfully we have a competent backup, and Jason Peters got in there. I tell you what, Josh Ball cannot, bro. That will get killed. Josh Ball, bro.
Josh Ball shouldn't be in the NFL.
Come on, bro. He shouldn't be in the NFL. So Jason Peters,
just because of on-field play.
Yeah, bro. And Jason Peters, I think he had a quote today. Was just like he told him like after he threw that pick, when he got hit, that got hit and threw the pick at the end. Jason Peters told the coach staff like, "Hey, I can at least stay in front of somebody. Like I don't play right tackle all the time, but I can at least stay in front of somebody." So obviously, hey man, that's gonna be big going down the stretch. Leaning on Jason Peters at the right tackle position, right in time for Tyron to come back at left tackle. But hey man, it's really not an excuse because injuries happen everywhere. 49ers, they starting quarterback out. You know what I mean? And
there are two different starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, I've seen the Eagles win a Super Bowl without their starting quarterback, who was playing at a really high level. So it's not an excuse. It's just something we're gonna have to, overcome going forward. We'll see how that works out.
So my thoughts, right? Dak Prescott, he played very well on that last drive. Like He was spot on. I love the floater pass. My favorite play of the drive was when he got in the pocket. He dropped back. He stepped up in. He dipped in. He got out the pocket. He had to do it a little pump fake. Got the first down. Great play. That was a great play. That was Dak just playing football, playing free.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And I believe that Dak is a winner. And I think that in those moments, Dak does seem to
rise to the occasion. Yeah.
As well as he can play, at least. I think that at least he hits his ceiling typically for the most part in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I think Dak played horribly yesterday for 3.9 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he was horrible, and I think that he was bad last week, and I think that this is alarming because it's starting to become a pattern. And I'm not really liking the quotes that I'm hearing from him when you say things like, well, I'm not going to stop being aggressive. Well, the reason that you became Dak Prescott was because you weren't throwing interception. You were safe. You took the right reads. And if you're going to be aggressive, hey, that's fine. But I don't think that's his game.
Yeah.
Because I want to be as respectful as possible because I don't want this to come off as Dak hate. I want it to come off as objectivity. But come on, Ryan. Dude threw 2 picks. The last pick, yeah, maybe he got hit. I don't know. Whatever. It's football, like you said. You just got to play football. And that interception that he threw reminds you he fumbled on the play right before it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, dude, you're trying to get a game away. And if the defense didn't stand up and make a goal line stop on turnover on downs, then Dak wouldn't even have the opportunity to take the ball and do the 98-yard drive. He literally gave the ball back twice. And against a good team, I don't think that our defense holds up right there in that situation against a good team.
Mm-hmm.
The defense that he threw those 2 interceptions to, and that's the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
And lastly, the interception that he threw to Noah Brown, it was behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, maybe Noah Brown maybe could have like made a play, but come on, you got to be accurate. So you can't, and we can't continue to say, "Hey, Dak, those are miscommunications with his receivers." But that tells me one or two things. One, maybe he should have played in preseason so he can get a rapport with these guys, so that he's not trying to figure it out during the season and they're growing pains.
Yep.
And two, you know, I just think Dak, man, he has to play better. The Cowboys won't do well in the playoffs unless Dak plays better. And part of that is limiting his turnovers. We don't need him to be Superman. We just need him not to crash the boat. And I think
Go ahead.
And I think that Dak thinks that he has to be Superman because I'm hearing quotes like, "I'm not going to stop being aggressive," or "that was a heat check." And I just don't believe that he's on the level, and respectfully, because obviously I'm not a quarterback, so I'm telling him how to do his job. But I don't think that he's on the level to be having heat checks. Yeah. So when you're doing these things and you throwing interceptions and you have 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions on the season, I mean, if our defense wasn't so elite, then what would our turnover ratio be? Our differential. You know what I mean? So, but with that said, when Dak is playing at the level that I believe that he can play at, I don't think no one's touching the Cowboys.
I mean, again, we crept up to almost 40 pass attempts, 39. We've said we don't want to see that. I think, just like I said, when you pull out your stats that I don't follow them, because I could easily be devil's advocate and say, since Dak came back and rattle off all the stats about I'm going off what I'm watching. And they, first in points, first in, yardage and third down. Man, I'm going off what I see. And that's all fine and dandy. I'm just looking at playoff winning football. And there's stretches that we have where I'm like, that's going to have us sitting at home. With the stats say, I don't see I don't look at us and be like, we obviously you can't have those stats and not be like a very good offensive team or explosive offensive team. But I don't see us just run up against a dominant defense or a top-notch defense and just going crazy on them offensively. I think we need to play a sound, balanced running game. Dak has to make some plays, a few plays here and there, but I don't want to see that 39. I rarely see when it creeps up to that many attempts, just like a firework game from them.
But you got to think. You gotta ask yourself, like, why did we throw the ball 39 times against the worst team in the NFL when they struggle to stop the run and our running backs were getting off? So how do we even get in the predicament to where he ends up with 39 passes when we could? It's almost like the Cowboys are doing their best to give him stats or stat pad him. Like 39 attempts against this team when we could have just ran the ball down their throats, got this game over with limited injuries. Got out of here, but you throw the ball 39 times. Even on a game-winning drive, Ryan. On a game-winning drive, he played phenomenally. Yeah. We get down to first and goal on the 3-yard line. They hadn't stopped us from running the ball. We bring Zeke back in the game. And then they did the pass to Gallup, where Gallup dropped the ball. Now, hey, he very well could have caught that ball, and we could have walked off with a win. Yeah. But they decided to throw a pass in that situation. And mind you, we had 3 timeouts. We had 3 timeouts with about 45, 50 seconds left on the clock. Yeah. So I don't understand why you throw a pass, because he could have been sacked. He could have threw an interception. Right. He could have fumbled the ball. Yep. All those things could have happened. But if we ran the ball, even if they stopped us, we had a timeout to stop the clock and control the clock the way we wanted to. Why throw a pass? It's almost like you just need to make sure you try to get them an extra touchdown. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but none of this stuff makes sense. Week after week after week, we come out and we prove that when we run the ball, we're a better team. And week after week after week, they come out and continue to throw the ball 30 to 40 times to prove that Dak is him. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
I mean, we'll see because fantasy football I have you tapped in with a lot of different teams. So, um, it's not an excuse because I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. But I will say I'm not gonna just go crazy on the slander because guys that we call elite aren't playing too well either. Like a Josh Allen. Dak stats since he's been back, it's been better than Josh Allen during this stretch. But that doesn't. I only care about the Cowboys. So I don't know what the game plan is. At least Buffalo owns who they are. You know what I mean? They're like, we ain't running it. We just throwing this ball all over the field. I just like to see us get an identity, and it's just crazy. It seems like we go against the strength of our team with our identity at times, a lot of times, too many times. So I would like us to see like, if Dak doesn't play well, throwing it 20 to 25 times a game, that's another thing. But I just really dislike when we get to that 35 to 40 range with him. Because, like, why is that even happening? Is my only question. But since we're getting past happy, we gotta bring up the new addition. Sneaky little move. Honestly, I didn't even see it on ESPN. If you don't follow the Cowboys, that we signed T.Y. Hilton today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know, probably means we're probably moving on from Odell. I saw he was on the shop.
It's embarrassing.
LeBron's podcast or whatever you want to call it show. He said he, felt like they had unfinished business, him and Saquon. Go do your thing, man. I know they did their medicals.
When did he say this?
I don't know. I saw it on Twitter. I saw the video clip though. He said it. He was on the shop.
So that's so lame of the Cowboys to do all this publicly courting this man for well over a month. Yeah. Dude came in, you made a public spectacle of it by taking him to a Mavericks game. Come on, dog. You did all this for what? Yeah. I even picked him up on one of my fantasy leagues. Like,
I did it too.
That'd be nice.
A couple weeks ago.
It's crazy. I just don't understand it, but I believe T.Y. Hilton will bring something to the team.
Yeah,
because we get nothing from Jalen Tolbert. And if we do sustain an injury to someone like CD, we need someone in the house because we don't have anyone in the house right now. If CD got hurt, we'd be screwed.
Yes, that's a fact. If CD gets hurt, I mean, come on.
If CD got hurt, we'd be screwed because they missed on Jalen. What's his name? Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert.
They missed on Jalen Tolbert. They made a mistake by getting rid of Amari Cooper.
Yes.
And now what they're doing is they're trying to go back and backfill it. They're trying to say, okay, well, maybe we can. So as long as CeeDee Lamb stays healthy, as long as CeeDee Lamb stays healthy.
Got to be lucky.
Then they'll look like they made the right decision. But if CD gets injured at all, I'm talking about miss even one game or has to come out in a playoff game, then we're going to be looking and saying, man.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be great to be able to still lean on Amari Cooper?
Yeah. He's at least a threat. Like, bro, Amari Cooper is really good. Like,
I didn't know that was up for debate. I didn't know that. I didn't know
he's open, bro. Like, that sucks to even think about. Because, bro, if Amari Cooper was out there with CeeDee Lamb right now, bro, like, yeah, we really
and Pollard and Zeke. I mean, Pollard and God's strength playing the way they playing.
Yeah, you notice the order you put him in. Though I'm just saying.
Yeah, because
is a fool.
No, because
is a fool.
But Pollard is, I believe, our most explosive player.
Bro, he's really good, bro. He's really good.
I believe he's our most explosive player. So that's why you heard the way. Then running back Zeke is still Zeke. Did you see? You didn't allow you. We didn't come here last week. Yeah. We didn't come here last week when the crowd was going. They was begging for him, and I was right there with him. Let's go. And then what he do? He did what he always do. He scored a touchdown. He's so reliable. It's so dependable.
I rock with it.
He's such a good running back.
Real talk. I really enjoy. They're splitting carries. And I think it's going to prolong Zeke's career. He looks fresher at this point of the year. He looks fresher. He's running hard, and I think that's the thing, man. They had a really good interview. I couldn't tell if that was Michael Smith giving the interview to him and Tony Pollard. I sent it to you. I don't know if you checked it out, bro. They got a really good interview. He was really transparent. Asked him, the questions like, "Hey, man, when Tony started really getting some touches, like." did that affect you? You know what I mean? Like, did that kind of mean? He was like, yeah, it did. He was like, but eventually, every time he got out there in his limited touches, he was shining. So like, I had to kind of come to grips with like he makes us a better team when he's playing. Like, he's a really good player. So I have to come to grips with that. He was saying like, coming from Ohio State and when he was drafted by the Cowboys, like mentally, like I gotta be that bell cow, like 25 to 30 times a game. Boom, you can count on me. And so he was like, yeah, bro, it was messing with me when that split, started evening it out a little bit. But he was just like, yo, now it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like it's harder for a defense to stop two fresh backs throughout the game. A really good player, explosive player. He was like, man, in his limited touches, he was doing his thing. So eventually, he was just like, yo, like I got to kind of come to grips with this. And it was a dope interview, bro. You should check it out.
Man, that just bring that as much respect as I already have for this man, God's strength.
Yeah.
That story just takes me over, man. Like,
yeah,
he that selfless.
I will say,
he's that selfless.
It's a lot easier to be that selfless when you done got paid. That's a fact.
Yeah, it makes sense.
it's a lot easier.
And that's why he and his agent pushed to get that bag, because he understood what the game was. And you can't be mad at that.
Not at all.
You can't be mad at that.
And we're going to go into the offseason and talk about that running back position.
So the Cowboys, watch this. The Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. And after we win the Super Bowl, Jerry Jones will restructure Zeke's contract. He'll be a Cowboy his entire career. You will never see you will never see God's strength play on another team in his career.
You saw Emmitt Smith play on another team, a couple teams.
Yeah, that's Emmitt wasn't making the bread that these guys making.
I'm just saying, you never know.
And God's strength, I don't know if he's going to be in line for the all-time rushing title.
Between Michael Irvin, outside of Michael Irvin, like Troy Aikman, I don't really know too many. Like, there's a few of them. Darren Woodson, that was just lifelong Cowboys.
Well, God's strength will be one. Did you hear that crowd?
I did.
Did you hear that crowd? You think Jerry didn't hear that crowd? You don't think Jerry knows? He knows.
Steven cheap though. So
yeah, Zeke at this point in his career, Zeke, I got a bag already. Now go ahead. Let's split carries and pay me like a running back that split carries.
Yeah,
whatever that is. What's that? $3 million, $4 million? Okay, give me that. I done bagged 90 M's. I'm straight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see.
We'll straight.
See. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Zeke. God's strength.
This stretch down the stretch, man. As we, it's getting cold. We'll be in January before you know it.
Yep.
We got Jacksonville coming up next week. So this last little playoff push, man, is going to be super, super interesting to watch how we trending.
With that,
this is around the time of the season where teams who get hot are difficult to beat in the playoffs, and like you can see them make a run.
Teams like Detroit,
like they look good.
Yeah, they've won I think 5 in a row, and then they lost one. And I think they won like 5 of their last 6, but they should have won that game against Buffalo.
Teams who get hot starting about right now, I think they might have popped it off a little too early though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really talking about this like last, what is it?
Month, 4 weeks.
Right. Yeah, when you pop off this last like 4 in a row heading into the playoffs, then the teams you really don't want to see.
Well, with that being said, I think the Cowboys have 4 games straight? 5 games straight that we on right now?
Yeah.
4 games straight. We got Jacksonville in Jacksonville. We got Philly.
Yep.
In Tennessee, in Washington. So those 4 games, what do you think we finish at? With those out of those 4 teams, how many guaranteed wins do you see?
3-1.
That's what you think? 3-1.
I hopefully we can go take care of business against Philly. I wouldn't be surprised if we drop either the Philly or Tennessee game. Just my opinion.
I think that. Great. Nah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, but
So your guaranteed wins will be Jacksonville and Washington, and you think that we'll split the
I do.
I believe if the Cowboys beat Philadelphia,
13-4.
I think if the I think the Cowboys beat Philadelphia. They beat Tennessee. I think
And
Tennessee
then,
is a good team. They'll respect that Tennessee is a good team and we're going on the road. It'll be a cold game. I don't know. I could be
well,
wrong.
yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be objective to be like I
Yeah.
can see us going 3-1.
Yeah.
To
So
finish out the year.
at the beginning of the season, what did you say that the Cowboys record was going to be? Did you think?
I think, like I said, like 10-7.
Oh, so technically the Cowboys have not exceeded your expectations as of yet.
They have.
They have.
They have. They won't lose 4 straight. They
Yeah.
have.
Okay.
They have. So
Okay.
we'll see how they finish off, man. I really want to see us, kind of at least. I just want to again. I don't expect us to be A+ every game, beating the hell out of everybody, dominating fashion. I just want to see us be a little more consistent. Like show me that baseline level of who the Cowboys are. That we have too many ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying, highs and lows, and that ain't really conducive to playoff football. So show
That's
me who
true.
the Cowboys are at a baseline, bro. You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying? Like you're gonna have to at least play this
Which team is going to show up?
Yeah, and we just be either be like, world beaters or we playing down the competition, and that doesn't bode well for the playoffs.
Yeah, but I believe one thing, playing down the competition also means you play up to your competition. So in the playoffs, those are typically going to be the better teams. And if theoretically we're going off of how, we're playing up to our competition,
I mean,
that means you'll get a good version of Cowboys. But I'll say this. I never know which team we're going to get, and I honestly believe that boils down to Dak. But I'll say this. When the Cowboys are playing to their potential,
yeah,
there isn't a team in the NFL that can beat us.
I mean, I think a lot of people say that though. All the good teams.
I believe if you had Philly playing at their best and us playing at our best, we beat them. We're better
they
team.
Don't feel that way, though.
They don't have to. They don't have to
feel that way.
That's why they wear Dookie green.
The Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes don't feel that way.
They defense isn't good enough.
The Bills when they feel that way,
they have a case.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like it's a handful of teams that feel like if we play the best to our abilities, can't nobody touch us.
And those are what we call contenders.
Yeah, and so we're gonna see. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Actually gonna see. If you play your best, we play our best. Who wins?
So let me ask you this: the Cowboys and the Eagles will play each other in the second round. The only thing is you're fighting for the division, a first round bye, and home field advantage, and then the other team would have to go through probably Tampa Bay or anybody in that division. Actually,
yeah.
Would it behoove the Cowboys to kind of like give a fluff game plan against the Eagles? And if we lose or whatever, we just go beat Tampa, see them in second round?
Nah, you just got to, because you need to be building habits going into the playoffs. So, you need to put your best foot forward, win or lose. Yeah, ain't no, we ain't got enough room for error to be doing stuff like that.
If we go out there and play our best, we're going to step on their necks. It's going to be
okay, step on their necks, and then you need to beat them again. Like, to win the Super Bowl, like, it's just going to be a very difficult road. So, if you step on their necks and feel like we showed our hand too much, like, yeah, you're going to have to go beat them again. I mean, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, but that time it'll be in Dallas at least and not Philadelphia. Even if we don't have a home field advantage, as some would say, it's better than going to the cold and playing Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
I see us play like exponentially better at home. I don't know. When I see us play,
what you mean? What you mean? We haven't lost at home since the first week of the season.
I'm just saying in playoff games. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I'm just saying like I don't have that home field advantage feel. Like,
but it don't have to be a home field advantage per se.
I get it that you're not playing on the road. I get it, but
and you're not playing in the elements. You're not playing the elements when you play at home either.
And they not either.
Yeah, but us if we had to play that game in Philadelphia, they would be more used to those elements than we would since we play in a dome or a controlled arena or stadium.
I don't know. I guess I just don't. I don't know. I don't like our play. I don't like our home field advantage.
So you want to see us going? So basically, you say you want to see us going around.
I feel just as confident when we're on the road as we are at home, which I know there's other teams that don't feel that way.
I feel that way as well. But I thought that was just
I'm just as confident. Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm just as confident when we're away because I'm just saying I don't feel that home field advantage when you come into the crib. to Dallas, like, yeah, you gotta, this finna be too loud. This finna be false starts. This finna, nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, maybe not being at home make you play better. You lock in, you at the hotel. I don't know, but I don't feel no home field advantage. So I
But
just
the
like, man,
Cowboys do, for the record, the Cowboys do hotels for home games too.
no, I don't know. I see a lot of more iffy games. I feel like when we at home, like we either blow somebody out, these like 50 to 40 burgers, or we just play like trash. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my feeling when I watch it. But
I mean, I think that's every team. Ask the Vikings. Ask the Bills.
I don't know. I feel like when they play at home, they have more of an advantage. But hey, who knows? I'm just, again, I don't watch them as much as I watch the Cowboys.
But we haven't lost there since the first week of the season, so
I get it. No, I'm cool with that, but I don't think it's, I don't know. It doesn't mean every game's been impressive. Again, I don't expect no domination or nothing, but we just beat the Texans. Like, I'll take it though. Because it is something to be said. Like when a basketball player, right, is having an off game and he still has the nuts to step up and take the last minute shot
right,
and hit it.
right.
It means something. It really does mean something. So
which is why I praised that, because I felt like that last drive, like even though he did through the interceptions, I felt like in that moment, in that last 2 minutes when he was driving down the field,
threw all that out the window.
Yeah, those interceptions, none of that stuff mattered at that moment.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have an embarrassing win than an embarrassing loss. Because if you don't win that game, we still gonna be here to critique and hear all the negative news that we're hearing now, but with the loss next to our name. And now we can't go and catch the Eagles, which I believe we can and will.
For sure. I agree. So we turn the tables, man, and turn our attention to Jacksonville. Look forward to that matchup.
It was good offensively.
Yeah, man, they had a really good game last week. So we'll see if we can, start being a little more consistent and on that uptick, man, as we get down this back stretch of the season, man, and start to enter to the playoffs. So I look forward to it, man. And we'll definitely try to tap in with you guys for a preview of that Jacksonville game.
Real quick.
Oh,
I don't want to jinx myself because the last time I did this, it blew up. I jinxed myself the very next game.
Okay.
But Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 10-win seasons.
I'll take it. I'll take it. You knock on wood, though. Yeah, knock on wood. Okay. Yeah, hey, that's impressive. Yeah. I'll take it. But at the end of the day, you still get fired if you don't win past the first round in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You think he'll get fired?
Yeah.
Why you saying so quick and straight faced?
I think
you think? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, sir.
I think Jerry got something with Sean Payton. If there wasn't just like a obvious coach in waiting, I wouldn't say that's the case. But he got guys. I think he got Sean Payton in the tuck if you don't win past this first round.
I was hearing Sean Payton in Arizona and a couple of other spots.
We'll see. We'll see. If you don't win, if he wins past the first round, I think he keeps his job.
There was a game a week or two ago where they labeled it the Sean Payton Bowl. See? I don't know who it was.
I think if he wins past the first round, he keeps his job. If he doesn't, he's out of here.
What if he gets a bye?
And then it still feels like a first round. We've done that before. It still feels like a first round loss.
It's still like technically a second round. Yeah, so you believe if we're in the 5th seed, we win a wild card round and lose in the second round, the divisional round.
Yeah, I think he's out of here.
But if he wins in the divisional round,
he got to get to the NFC Championship to keep his job.
Bet. There you go.
Flat out. Call it unfair, fair, all you want. I just think that's the reality of it.
I don't care about it. I don't care about it being fair or not.
I think that's the case. I think, I think Sean Payton will be in here if he don't get to the NFC Championship. If he gets to the NFC Championship, I think he keeps his job.
Win or lose. Okay.
Get to the NFC Championship. That'll be enough money generated for Jerry to be satisfied. We in the right direction. We keep ascending. You know what I'm saying? Next step, Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But if he don't get to the NFC Championship, I think he jumps to Sean Payton.
Well, I hope that don't happen. Hope
We'll
we win
see.
a Super Bowl so my boy Zeke can restructure.
Okay, we'll see. But definitely appreciate y'all tapping in. We definitely tune in for this Jacksonville preview. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate y'all. We're going to get back to you.
Zeke!
God's strength.